Okay, so this video is for the isometric for the bracket. You can see that I just put on a few dimensions so I know what my width is, I know what my depth is, and I know what my height is. So I went to Object Snap Settings, Snap and Grid, made sure isometric snap was on. I also hit F8 a couple times, making sure that ortho is on. You can see it says off, I hit it again, now ortho is on, and I can go ahead and box this guy out. So here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this line back 3 1/4, hit enter. Draw this line straight up, 1.75, hit enter, and draw this line over 2 inches, which is my depth. And now I can start creating my box. So I can draw that line way high, draw this line over, draw this line way here, draw this line straight up, draw this line over, and draw this line back. And now I can clean all that up. Okay, so that is going to be my, that's going to be where mine starts right here. And there's a lot of ways that you can draw this. A lot of people like to start on the front. A lot of people like to start on the top area. A lot of people like to start on the right. I will go ahead and start on the front. Here I'm actually going to delete this line so you can kind of see what's happening. And I'm going to draw a line up that's 3/4 of an inch. So I'm basically drawing out from there to there. Well, actually, maybe before I do that, maybe I should start with the notch. That might be a better way to go. So I need to go over 1/2 inch and up 1/4 inch. So I'm going to draw a line over 1/2 inch, and you got to make sure you're going in the right direction. Over 1/2 inch and up 1/4 inch, and then again back this direction, and I can trim that off. Okay, because what's going to happen here is a lot of this stuff is going to go away. Like that's going to go away. This line is obviously going to go away. This line here is going to, this one's going to get deleted, but then this one's going to get trimmed off. And then this line here is going to be the line that goes all the way back in this direction. And then this line gets deleted, this line gets trimmed off, and this line will get trimmed off. So it would end up looking something like that. A lot of people miss this line right here. So I'm going to draw that line straight back, and then I can trim off this because you wouldn't be able to see either of those. But that's what that notch would look like. You'd just be able to see this little portion right there. Okay, I can do the same thing on the other side. Go ahead and come in 1/2 inch, 0.5, come up 0.25, and then again I'll head back this direction and trim this off. Trim that off. Delete this. I would trim this off, and I would trim this, and you wouldn't be able to see anything. The hidden line back here would be hidden, but that's what that would look like right there. So now my notches are taken care of. Okay, from the notch coming up, I got to go 1/2 inch if you look over here. So I'm actually, this is now when I'm going to delete this line. I'm going to draw a line from that point where I just deleted it up 1/2 inch, and now the shelf is going to come over all the way across. So I can trim this guy off here, and it's going to end up looking something like that. And it is going to come back. This is my shelf right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that'd be 1.5 inches. So this guy's going to come back in this direction, 1.5. And again, this is going to come all the way across here. So this line would not even be here. This line is going to be here, but it's only going to be 1/2 inch. So I'm going to trade this line, just come out 1/2 inch, and I'll actually just draw this guy all the way back over here, just so we don't get confused. So I'm going to trim this guy off, and I'm going to delete this, and I can trim this guy off as well. So you can see I kind of have a flat shelf area over here. If I were to square this off, I could just draw this line from here to here. There's a bit of an angle, but you'll get the idea of how this works. So if I draw this line straight down and then draw this line straight back, you'll see all those lines intersect. I can clean that up and then come back and put in the holes and put in the angled pieces. So I'll go ahead and put in the angled pieces first. It looks like I got to come over 3/4 of an inch and down 1/2 inch. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this line. I'm going to draw down 1/2 inch, I'm going to draw over 3/4 of an inch, or 0.75, and then connect these 2 points right here. Okay, that's going to look something like that. This line, now that I have that point, can come straight across, and this line, now that I have this point, can come straight across. And I would also need a line to go from here to here. So that's going to look like that. Now I got to clean this up and make it a little bit easier to see. So I'll trim this off. I'll trim this off. I'll delete this line here. I'll trim this off. I'll trim this off. I'll delete this line here. Now I have to trim this off. So sometimes you have to delete, sometimes you have to trim. And last but not least, at least on this part here, I'll just draw my line from there to there, and that would look something like that. Okay? I need to do the same thing coming over from this corner, over 3/4. So here I come, 3/4 in this direction, 0.75. I'll go straight across. I'll come down from here, 0.5. And again, I've got to connect. Oh, that did not go in the right direction. I've got to come down. Make sure your line goes vertical. Like mine's not going vertical. Now it will. Now I can come down 0.5, and now I can connect to this point right here. And so that's going to look something like that. So now I can trim off or get rid of what I don't need. I don't need that. Trim. Delete this line. Trim this line. Delete. Trim. Trim. And now I can take this line right here, go over in this direction 1/2 inch, and connect the point right there. And that's what that would look like right there. Last but not least, I've got to do the holes. Remember, if you remember, the holes were 1 inch over and 3/4 up. So if I go here, I hit there, and I go in this direction, this way, I had to go 1 and then up 0.75. And there's my, it's going to be the center point of my hole. Same thing, line, go in this direction, 1, and then again I got to go up in this direction, 0.75, and that's going to be the center point of my hole. Now here's something new, something I haven't shown you yet. To do a hole on an isometric view, it's actually an ellipse. So here's ellipse. You're going to want to use, I believe it's axis end, and you're looking for iso circle. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, or actually I'm going to hit I, enter for iso circle. Then I'm gonna click on it, and you can see my hole is actually going in the right direction. If yours is not, hit F5. You can see it should not look like that. Hit F5 again. No, it should not look like that. Hit F5 again. Yes, it should look like that. And now we have the same issue where you have to hit D, enter for diameter. D, enter, 0.5, enter. Okay, same thing. Click here, or click on axis end. So here's axis end. Make sure you choose that one. Then hit I for iso circle. So I, enter. Click right here. D, enter. 0.5, enter. And now you can delete these that helped you make the center mark. And that's it. You don't need any center lines. You don't need any hidden lines. This would be the bracket completed. The last thing I would like you to do is highlight the whole thing. Scale it down to 1 to 2. So scale. Select my base point. 0.5, enter. Highlight it. Click on move. And we'll go put it, I'll turn ortho off so I can move a little bit more freely. I'll go put it in kind of in this area right here. I realize it's good. The miter line is going through that. That's okay, because remember, my construction layer is set not to print. So this would be the bracket. You don't need the dimensions anymore, so I'll delete those. And this would be your bracket completed. Front view, right view, top view, isometric view. And I'll see you in the next video.